Hey all, welcome to Treck. Welcome to our live stream. I'm going to start in a few seconds. Let me welcome to Treck. Welcome to our live stream. I'm going to start in a few seconds. So everything is checking out right. So we are broadcasting properly. So let me get started by first looking at what's happening in the news area. That's better. Okay. It's all cheerful faces today because Wall Street is rallying. There's a good momentum out here. And with the Dow surging 700 points, people are just looking happier. It's been a long time since I have seen such happy faces. And someone is not that happy. Twitter Musk trial on $44 billion deal set to begin in October after Musk loses effort to delay. Well, so what else is happening out here? Let's check this out. We have that Twitter Musk deal going into trial in October. So this is happening in Delaware. And I think this puts Elon Musk in a spot of trouble because his share prices are not as high as it was when he initially offered to make this deal. And of course, his financing is backed by his shares. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. And also when he takes over Twitter, he's already inflicted a bit of wounds on Twitter. So he's going to buy a slightly bruised product at the least. So yeah, so let's see what happens with this one going forward. And what do we have here? Investors have put $43 billion in dividend-paying funds this year. Before you chase dividends, here's what you need to know. So basically, I also believe that you have to know your company before you invest, especially for high dividend-paying stocks. I have a personal anecdote on this one. I'd like to share it with you guys when we have a few more people joining up with us. And then I can take that up. You are the only one here, Inf. You made it in time. Yeah, you made it in time. I'm just waiting for a few more guys to join up. And if not, you're going to be my single audience, and this will be a special stream session for you, Inf. Thanks for coming. Yeah, can you hear me clearly? I made all the checks today. I was much better today than yesterday. So I've checked everything. It's all working fine. Yeah, good. Very nice. So I'm just going to start this stream assuming I have 100 viewers because to me, you're 100 viewers all put in one. So I'm getting started and periodically I will... periodically I will look at the chat window and respond to you. So I'm going to move into the browser and start talking about the things out here that I wanted to discuss. So before you came, I was saying that it's been a long time since I've seen smiley faces in business websites with Wall Street rally gaining momentum and Dow surging 700 points. These guys are looking happy. And the person that's not looking very happy is Elon Musk. He's got a Twitter court case set for October in Delaware. And I'm sure he's not feeling very happy because the way he has structured the deal, he's going to be in the hook for at the least $1 billion. And on top of it, he may potentially have other damages, in my opinion. So that's what I'm thinking. So what do you think, Inf? Yeah. There's always a time lag between what I say and when it reaches to you. I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I think so. It will drag on for a while. Now, I have this Twitter article open, but basically it has got nothing new to say. So let me go to the next one I was talking about. It's that investors have put $43 billion in dividend-paying funds this year. And before you chase dividends, here's what you need to know. So they got a few points out here, but I personally had a really disastrous experience with dividend-paying stocks. And what had happened was that, Tesla and Twitter both are in trouble. Both are in trouble. Yeah. This is what happens with very flamboyant CEOs who think that running multiple companies nothing, and that they have to be glamorous and they have to be on Twitter and they have to be on entertainment sites and everything. So yeah, but I think Elon is very smart. He'll learn the lessons and he'll probably wind back and focus on creating more babies, I suppose. It's a better occupation of his time. At last count, I think I read somewhere that he has got 9 babies. He believes the birth rate is very low and we have to increase the birth rate to sustain the population on Earth. Yeah, so dividend stocks, like I was telling you the story about the dividend stocks that I burnt my fingers on. Basically, I was looking at Yellow Pages. At that time, I was still working with the banks. And I was looking at Yellow Pages. A friend of mine said, you know what, Yellow Pages gives fantastic dividends and the share price is low. At that time, I was totally new to investing. And I was really caught up by the fact that it was yielding around 9% or something. And I just jumped into it. I put a lot of money in Yellow Pages and I got dividends for a few months. And then the stock just disappeared. Hey, Jesse, welcome. Welcome, Jesse. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. How is it in California today? Sunny and bright? What happened, Inf? Yeah, so I burned my fingers on the Yellow Pages stock. And typically it was giving around 9% dividend, basically because the share price was falling as knowledgeable investors already knew that the business model was not going to survive Google and all the other players that had come into the market. And then the ultimate thing happened. 6 months down the line, I lost all my capital. Yellow Pages literally vanished, and my wife gave me a big dressing down for wasting all the money. So that was my very first lesson about dividend paying stocks, and that was many, many years ago. After that, I always look at very, very carefully on dividend paying companies to see whether their underlying business model is good or not. Because if the business model is not good, share price is likely to fall, but the dividends will not fall until a bit later, and many people will get caught in that kind of a trap. Yeah, Jesse, I believe I understand what you're feeling. You sold a Bitcoin and it goes up. It's always like the lane you are in the traffic. It seems to be the slowest lane. And when you change the lane, then your new lane seems to be slowest and the one you left seems to be going ahead. Yeah, I know. That's why I generally don't sell. So I have just not done much transaction. The only transaction I have done in the last 4 months is buying SQZ Technologies, which unfortunately today is edging to a slightly negative position. It's all because of the jitters about the earnings that is coming up. But I think fundamentally, the company is good. It still has got enough money to go until next year. I just finished posting the SQZ Technologies Q2 review. So if you haven't seen that, you can always have a quick look at it whenever you get the chance. But I think SQZ is okay, but it went down. So as I was saying, Jesse, I basically don't sell when the market is down. For example, when I was living in Ireland, my accounts were with Bank of Ireland, which is one of the biggest banks in Ireland at that time. And then we had a bust coming up for Ireland with the home crisis and mortgage crisis. And Bank of Ireland shares dropped significantly. Like at one time, they were worth $25 or something. They dropped down to pennies. And at that time, a few big investors put money into it to bail it out. And the Irish government bought a lot of shares in Bank of Ireland to stabilize it. And recently they got out of it. So I still have the shares from that time for Bank of Ireland. And they were initially listed in NASDAQ. And they decided to withdraw because of all the debacle. They couldn't maintain multiple books. So my broker offered me the option to sell it or keep it. So I kept it with me. And it's now slowly recovering value. So basically, I don't sell. Once I buy something, I don't sell unless the company is bad, like Yellow Pages. So I'm still holding Bank of Ireland. It's been almost 10 years now. It's still in the portfolio out there. Yeah, I was in Dublin in Ireland. I lived there for 4 years. I was living and working in Ireland for 4 years before I came to Canada. So I've been to different places. So Jesse, what's happening with the biotech companies out there? Are you seeing any impact on the real estate? I think I asked you this question yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, because I am seeing some reports saying that because of people being let go in the tech sector, a lot of technology-dominated areas are losing housing values, and the vacancies are increasing. Is it something that you're seeing in parts of California? Okay. Yeah, more being listed. Yeah, that's the first step. And then the selling duration takes longer. Yeah. Yesterday I got some bad news. The lawyers were saying that the green card application will take around 14 years. So I said, forget it. We'll just be snowbirds going to US for 6 months and being here for 6 months. That's an option. And other parts of the world are also open. So we'll see what can be done out there. Now, let me quickly go back to the browser and talk about some of the other things that I had listed out here. UK shatters record for its hottest day ever. London Fire Service declares major incident. So this is really interesting because in India, we were used to the kind of temperatures that UK has never seen. Like before I left India, I have seen 42 degrees during the summer. So it was nothing because Indian homes are built that way. They have got windows and you can always open the windows and doors and there is natural ventilation and all that. But conversely, in winters, I used to live in Delhi. Before I came here in Delhi, it used to go up to 5 degrees centigrade. And in Canada, we don't think twice about 5 degrees centigrade. But in Delhi, it was a big deal. It was very cold. And because the houses were not built with insulation in mind, they're all made totally out of concrete. So I think UK is probably not able to handle all these things because the home construction and facilities, everything is constructed keeping in mind a cold environment. And therefore, I think they are going to have a tough time. This is normal. And then the other item I wanted to talk to you about was Cathy Wood's funds rebound, 10 stocks to watch. So I'm really happy about this because Cathy Wood, I think I really admire her guts because she had nerves of steel. She kept on pushing back with her own theory, and she had conviction in her own theory. And I remember she started making special videos on YouTube for ARK Invest just to make sure that their research is shared with everybody and educate everyone so that people can understand the value of ARKG, ARKK and all their investments. And then they started having individual series where they were interviewing Genomics CEOs. There was one really good interview with Samarth Kulkarni who's the CEO of CRISPR Therapeutics. I really liked that interview. They did a lot of work to educate people and also make their research available very, very easily for everybody. So I am really happy for Cathy Wood. They have gained around 18%, I believe, in the last month or so. So it says here, Wood's predictions carry weight as her flagship fund is up 18% this month compared to 1.7% gain for S&P 500 index. Some of the top stocks to watch out for in Cathy Wood's portfolio as deflationary pressures increase include Amazon, C Limited, and Tesla. Inflows into ARKG Innovation ETF, which did not drop in tandem with the drawdown of the market, are also up this month, with Bloomberg reporting that the fund has amassed over $300 million in capital in July. So far this year, even though the fund is down 50%, it has recorded inflows close to $2 billion, highlighting that investors still trust Cathy Woods. I do trust her a lot. I still have ARKG, the only one product that I bought from the Cathy Woods team. So that's what I have got with me. Let me quickly go to the chat window and see what you guys are talking about. Okay. A lot of commercial property is vacant. Yeah, I heard my cousin lives in LA. I think he works for Cisco or something. And he was saying that Google building and a few other buildings, there has been demand to convert them into social housing or something like that. I don't know if you have heard about that, whether it is true, but I heard that commercial property was vacant and that's what they had plans for. Nasdaq rallying into close, RK also rallying, ARKG also heading. Yeah, the 2x leverage RKK is up 9% today. Invite is down 16%. Ouch for everyone holding it. Yeah, I think I have some news on Invite. I'll share that with you when we do our analysis. I saw one of the trending stock on Yahoo was Invite. Yeah, there is some problem. Let me give you a quick idea of what's happening out there. Let's quickly go to the trading desk and I'll just check out Invite for you and I'll tell you what's happening there. In Invite, if I go to the news sector, right? So what I have here is this particular news, which happened at 4:45 last evening. That's why we couldn't catch this. So they have actually their... let me go here. Actually, their earnings is scheduled for 9th of August. But they did release this news item out here. This is what has caused the downfall for the share price. Out here it says, Invite on Monday reported Q2 preliminary revenues of about $136 million. Analysts polled by Capital IQ are expecting $142.4 million. So this informal release of information has shown a big drop against expectation. So they have come out 6.4 million less than expected in terms of their revenue. Therefore, that's taken a hit out there. The company also expects full year 2022 revenue to post a low double-digit growth rate from 2021 revenue of $460.5 million. Analysts polled by Capital IQ are expecting $618.2 million. And also the company announced plans to prioritize higher margin initiatives while exiting non-core businesses and geographies, including a headcount reduction, with the goal of delivering $326 million in annualized cost savings by 2023 and extending its cash runway through 2024. And separately, Invite named Chief Operating Officer Kenneth Knight as Chief Executive Officer, succeeding Sean George. Will also remain a member of who will also remain a member of the board. Randy Scott, former executive chairman of the company, is returning as chairman of the board. All changes are effective immediately. So as you can see, there is something brewing in Invite, and the market doesn't like these kind of uncertainties and also performing below expectation. And that's the reason it has fallen. But we have a support line out here at 2.15, and I bet it does hold for it. So that's what I think about this share. Let me just quickly go and look at the chat window and see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it's a good company, but Jesse, be careful with Invite. I'm anyway going to do a video on Invite. I wasn't planning to do it right now, but I'll try to expedite it a little bit. But you be careful when you're buying, and always dollar cost average. I think we are at the bottom of the market. We have around 11 minutes to go before the market closes. So I just want to share with you some thoughts about why I think we are close to the bottom of the market. It is because if we look at our, let me go and show you the genomic shares out here. Let us look at all the genomic shares. Okay, let's start with the indices. If you look at the QQQ, right, you can see it's on a bullish channel because it has broken out of this bear part. It is on a bullish channel here, even though it's in an overall bear context. But if you look at SPY here, it has definitely broken out of the bearish channel and gone into the bullish channel. It did not have a bearish channel on top of it like NASDAQ did, but NASDAQ is recovering much better and doing much better than the others overall when you look at daily performance. And then if you look at the Russell Index is also on a minor bull channel. It has to break through this diagonal line. When it does that, we can confirm it. Dow Jones is also broken through the bearish channel and is on a bullish channel out here. And if you look at VIX, VIX has been a bit low for quite a while now, and it is just struggling on this support out here. So I think overall, if you look at risk on, risk off, I think we are more risk on right now. We have broken through this resistance here, which was forming the bear channel for us. So that's also looking good. And if you look at dollar index, it's also been falling down. So I think overall, we should be in a much better position, I think, with regard to the market. So whatever may happen would be sidewards consolidation. Another reason why I think this is going to be the case is also because of the fact that we have this CPI, which had been quite high because of a huge part, I think around 12% of the CPI was composed of oil and gas prices. And if you have been seeing the oil, if you look at US oil here, right? US oil peaked somewhere around 14th of June. And since then it has been falling. And even if it takes a little bit of time for oil prices to reflect on to the consumer, and still definitely by the time we get our next CPI report, it's definitely going to come down, in my opinion, below what it was before. And that would mean that the Fed is not going to be as hawkish. And that's the reason why I think we are close to the bottom. And that's the reason why I think we are seeing this green out here, which is happening, let us say in QQQ, this green out here. It's all because of the falling oil prices. So if we go to oil and look at the peak here, it was 13th of June. And if we go to QQQ and look where we have 13th of June, let us see, this somewhere out here. So this is the 13th of June. So from around 16th of June, we started going up, and we have been on this bullish channel. So the bullish channel started somewhere around 16th. So on 13th, oil started stabilizing, and then it started falling, and it took us 3 days. And after 3 days, we started forming this bullish channel. So the only spoiler could be US oil. So recently, Biden went to Saudi Arabia and spoke to the prince and all that stuff. But they have not budged. They have not increased any output. They have not made any formal announcement, at least to the best of my knowledge. That's why we are seeing an increase in oil prices here. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable that it's going to hit this and come back down because of the inflation expectations. So that said, let me check what's happening in the chat window. Homer price. Yeah. Okay. So it looks good. Now let's go and start looking at the last few minutes closing of the market. Let us see if there are any frantic trades. I'm going to go into QQQ, and I'm going to shift into a 1 day with a 1 minute time frame so that we can see the action. We can track the action. As you can see, it's all dropping towards the end of the market. Forming some daggers out here. Yeah, it's definitely on a downward. They can't make up their mind whether they want to go up or down. Just 6 more minutes to go. And if we look at our genomic side, and if we look at what's happening with Invitae, so Invitae is kind of bottoming out here. Let us see what it does. I think there is unnecessary panic with Invitae. I don't see anything so bad for Invitae. We still have a gap to be filled up out here. So it has got to go up. I think once the earnings come, then the gap will take it to 2.67. So just wait for the earnings. These things remind me of engine pistons going up and down on that. Okay, so it's going to be steady out there. The other company that I'm very interested in is CRISPR Therapeutics. Yeah, it's up 5.12%. Who can dispute that? Like if you look at the longer term scale, it looks so beautiful. This is a majestic chart, very strong on the chart. It's still fighting a resistance out here at 83.46, but really beautiful. Bluebird unfortunately has fallen down, and the support is still maintaining. This particular support we have here, the minor support, it's still holding on. So we managed to stay afloat. Let's see what happens tomorrow with that. And we have IMTX. Remember, we were talking about IMTX yesterday. It's gained 17.08%. All those IP issues as well as the EU trust proceedings and everything, they caused a bit of a blip out here, but our diagonal line of support is still holding. I'm really happy for IMTX, the way it's performing, 17.46. What do you think, Jesse? This is in your area. Now, yeah, I think Jesse will take some time to reply and it will reach here. Okay, so that's done. So we already seen the major news article that I wanted to talk to you about. We have seen this, we have seen this, and we have seen this. So all we have to do now is to wait for the market to close. And as we can see, S&P 500 is up, Dow is up, NASDAQ is up, Russell is up, and crude oil is up, and gold is down. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with the way gold has been behaving. Now let's quickly look at crypto before we have the market close happening. I am going here and going into the crypto area. Bitcoin has come up smartly. It has broken through the bearish channel and it's come up. So I think it's going to mirror what is happening in NASDAQ. Earlier, we always thought that Bitcoin is going to be a store of value and it will be moving opposite to inflation. So if inflation goes up, Bitcoin should go up, but it didn't happen. Then it got correlated nicely with NASDAQ, and it has been moving along with NASDAQ for a while. And today also it's gone up along with NASDAQ. Very handsome gain of 8.8%. I haven't seen those kind of activities for a while. I haven't sold any of my Bitcoin or Algo. I'm still holding on to it. I don't like to sell at a loss. So nothing lost. I'm just looking forward to it coming out. Now, if you look at wheat, for example, wheat has broken out of the bearish channel and it's going up. So this is not good for us. Let me just quickly go to the commodities section before market close. We still have 2 minutes to go. Copper is going down. When copper goes down, it's an indication of recession. And I had drawn this bear channel before, and it is respecting that bear channel. It's still there. And silver is also a kind of an industrial metal. It's also gone down. It's today, of course, it's up, but it's been consistently going down. It's on a downward bearish kind of a trend, and this is the diagonal line of resistance that it's respecting. So that's what is happening out here. So let's go into genomics, and we are at market close. We just got 2 minutes to go. So I'm just going to get into QQQ and get into a 1 day time frame. And just look at what's happening here. We'll just give it 2 minutes, my friends. Meanwhile, I'll have a quick look at the chat window and see if there is any response from anybody. ILMN is a great company. Yes, Jesse. Yeah, thanks. You bought it at $200. Yeah, you have to be patient with these companies. But when people are investing in CRISPR Therapeutics and Beam and other companies which still don't have products, I mean, Illumina, PACB, or Oxford Nanopore, these are all companies with products which have been proven, which are already in the market. So yeah, I agree. Yeah. And 10 by 2-year yield has been inverted for over a week now as well. Yes. Do we count it down like New Year's? Yeah, Jesse, you can. I'll quickly. Okay, it's already 4:00, so we'll go to Genomics. But before I end, I'll quickly show my analysis for Bitcoin for you. I have got 2 points there. One is 16,000 is one level of support. Another support is 12,983 or something like that. So those are 2 points. I am personally looking at 12,983 or something, around 13,100 to invest. I'm not touching it right now. So you may still have that thing. Jim Cramer. Yeah, I like that guy because, every day he comes in and is full of energy and he's full of confidence. I'm doing this this channel for just around 8 or 9 months so far. And I find some days I don't have the motivation or the ability. And sometimes I'm beaten down by the market. So I really admire Jim Cramer. And he's on a national television. So he's been made fun of and people poke fun at him. But he's always there the next day and always talking and giving pointers. So, yeah, Netflix, maybe they're coming up with the advertising model that they talked about. So let's look at the markets now. So I'm going back into I'm moving away from the chat window, so I may not be responding right away. Give me a few minutes. Let me go into the, I'm in TradingView. So as you can see that the market closed at 298.30 for the NASDAQ, up 3.08% from yesterday. And we are, post-market, we are still moving up a little bit. S&P 500 gained 2.69% today. Post-market also, it's going well. And Russell Index was up 3.55% today. And post-market, it's down minus 11%. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 2.37% today, but post-market, it's still doing a little bit of positive. And VIX has ended very close to 24.58. And this is a good sign for us. We are moving closer to the 20 mark, which I always use to say that we can do swing and day trading. Put-call ratio has ended at 0.94, which is bullish for us. And when we look at XLY by XLP, come on. Yeah, when we look at XLY by XLP, we are doing well. We are more risk on at this point of time. And US dollar is still respecting our diagonal line of support. Hopefully tomorrow it bounces back up again and continues to hold this, or else it'll be good for the economy if it keeps on coming down, because that'll help make sure that the US producers are doing well and employment is sustained. But I think because of the tight labor market in the US, that's going to be a problem for companies, and it is going to create a problem for the government. So let's see what happens. Let's go on to Genomics and see what has happened so far. Just going to sort this quickly to get the biggest gainers. Verve, beautiful chart out here. Verve is doing excellent and it has gone up spectacularly. Let me see if there is any new news apart from what we have seen. No, it's the old news itself that continues to drive. I think they are very, very close to getting FDA approval for some of their therapies, and that's why it's happening. And you can always pair Verve along with Beam. And Beam is also done well today, but it's got stopped out here at 65.12, which is our resistance. And it has respected that resistance. Post-market, it is still flat. Its gain totally today was 11.38%, whereas Verve gained 22.73%. The next resistance for Verve is going to be at... Oh, where did it go? The next resistance, I think by mistake, I had deleted it. So the next resistance at 33.69, and I think we'll definitely challenge that tomorrow. We have the earnings coming up on 11th of August. I'll have a video out for that. IMTX has finally broken out of the funk that it was in yesterday. Yesterday it had opened higher and dropped significantly and got rescued by this support, which happens to be at around 7.96. And then today it broke through from the resistance that we marked yesterday. So I'm going to convert this minor resistance into a support. And then it broke through the next level of resistance, which was at 8.80. I'm going to mark that also as a support. And today it's fighting against the resistance of 9.65. And hopefully tomorrow it's going to be able to clear that. And with that said, let's look at Editas. So Editas is still on a beautiful upward trajectory. It's a bull channel. And if I was to wind down, you will see that we had been on a long-term bullish, bearish channel, and then we got out of it, and then we fell down again. But my friends, I am seeing something very interesting out here. I am seeing a potential cup and handle pattern developing out here. So if goes somewhere like this and then does something like this, then the next move will be upwards. Okay, and how far up will that be? So for that, what we need to do is we need to take this measuring implement out here and take a measure to the neck of the neck of this. Okay, I'll do it later. 1 second. So this is the point. It's got around 102% gain out here. I mean drop 102%. So there'll be a gain of 102% from here to that. So if I was to just take a regular stick out here, like a trend line, let me do this here. Let me pull this out here. Okay, come on. Okay, so this is the neck out here, and then if I was to just pull this out and put it here and check this out, so it can go all the way up to 33.25 in my opinion. So we are, if this cup and handle pattern forms, then that's what I'm predicting. So with that said, I'm going to move on to look at Beam. Beam, of course, we checked out earlier. It's doing well, so I'm just going to skip through that. Intelia is up 8.52% today, and it's also following this bull channel. And as you can see, it just tested the support we had here at 60.88. It's still staying at 65.33. And during the day, it went into a low of 60.26. And that's the price action for us today. And our supports continue to hold. It will be very interesting tomorrow because the support is going to be even more stronger. And pre-market, it's post-market, it is flat. But tomorrow pre-market, I would probably like to see some positives out there. Caribou Biosciences is up 8.17%. Again, it's perfectly honoring this diagonal line of support. And you can see it touched this line and then got pushed back up again. Of course, as I mentioned always, these kind of steep lines of support are very, very difficult to sustain. Something like this is much better and preferable, but we'll take what we got. We'll hope that it holds. And we also have the earnings coming at 1st of September. Watch out for my earnings preview video. I'm going to be dropping that shortly. Today I have already dropped one for our the first company that we have, which is SQZ, which is going to report earliest. Now, next, going on to DNA, we are trying to break through this resistance out here, and we have broken through 3.20. We closed at 3.22, so I'm going to be happily marking this as a support going forward. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is also pointing upward, and it's above average. So things are looking good for DNA. And DNA had been consolidating between this support line here and the resistance line above, which I converted to support right now. So if it breaks through this, then it has got the next resistance, which is going to be at 3.33. And after that, we have the next resistance at 3.80. So let's see what happens with DNA. Let's look at news, if any. Yesterday, there was some news. Healthcare stocks climb pre-markets Monday. Was up 4% after saying it has launched a new cell programming project as part of collaboration with Sumitomo Chemical. So that's why Ginkgo Bioworks improved a bit. So that's what is reflected out here. That's the news. Now, let's go on to the next one, which is PSCB. PSCB is back, bounced up. It's back up from this support here. So yesterday was an aberration. It fell off very significantly. I think that PSCB should continue to improve. We have minor resistance coming up, which is at 4.44. So we'll wait and see what happens there. We also have earnings coming up at on 3rd of August. So probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll aim to get a video done for PACB. It will be my next one after SQZ. Allogene, absolutely nice bullish channel. As you can see, we had a bearish channel before, and we have this huge gap which has to be filled up. So filling up of a gap is very important. All gaps are always filled up. So this gap needs to be filled up. Let us see when we can do that. But we are definitely on the track to do it because this bullish channel has prevailed over the bearish channel and we have broken through it. So with that said, post-market, there is no trades out there. CRISPR Therapeutics has done well, 5.27%. Again, very, very strong chart. And today it has respected the support, which is out here for us at around 79.51. So that's a good support for us, which has held for the last two to 3 days. If you notice, the last 4 days actually, we have been hitting this support and going back up. And then we have been hitting this resistance at 83.46. We have ended the day at 83.78. So we should be able to convert this into a support going tomorrow. ARCG is up 5.14%. And as you know, we are on a rising trend and we have this pennant. So as I mentioned before, technical analysts would say this pennant is going to break out upwards. So we are going to have a upward movement out here. And that's what I'm expecting for. So I'm really happy about ARCG. If you look at Bluebird, of course, it has broken down from this diagonal line of support, but it's on a horizontal line of support sitting at around 4.79. And the pricing here is also at 4.79 at the end of the day. And with that said, there is no pre-market trades for them. IDNA is the next one, which is also respecting this diagonal line of support, but it has dipped a little below that, but it came back again today. It came back up again today, and that's what is most important. Again, this steepness of this curve is not sustainable, so it has to become a bit flat. That's what I look forward to. Teladoc up 4.18%, and it's still respecting our resistance. If you see closely, if you look closely at this this candle out here for today, you will see that there is this diagonal line of support, and we pierced through that and came back up again, and we closed the day above. And post-market, there is no trade, it's flat. Novartis is doing well, even though it's showing red on the chart out here. Compared to yesterday, it has moved up sharply. Yesterday, it ended the day somewhere close to 82.72. And today, it opened somewhere around 86.42, and then it gave up some gains, came to hit the support level at the bottom, and then it pushed up. So I'm going to mark these two as supports just so that I don't get confused going forward. And with that said, I think Novartis is looking good. Illumina is up again, and it's up 3.92%. It has got a resistance out here at 196.39, and that's what is going to hold it back, and it's going to consolidate between these two unless it has got some breakthrough news coming up. And if I was to consider the last news that we had here, Illumina breached EU merger rules by implementing Grail deal before end of regulatory review. That Grail deal is being put on hold. It's not going to be merged with Illumina until EU settles the case. But I think that's had a bit of impact on this company. But I'm thinking that we are coming out of it. So if we break through that resistance, I'll look at consolidating at the next level, given that we still don't know whether we are at the bottom of the market in a conclusive manner. Regeneron, I'm just going to skip Regeneron and Vertex and Pfizer. Pfizer is a good company. I think Pfizer is undervalued company. If one was to buy Pfizer at this point of time, it should give good returns going forward. So with that said, let's look at SQZ Technologies. It's not doing very well. I'm not happy about this because I have holdings here. It has lost 3.75%, but still it's above my purchase price, which was at around $3.05 per share. So it's ended the day at 3.08. I'll take that any day. It's on a consolidation spree. My game is that I have a standing instruction to sell this at 3.85. So I hope it manages to reach that level. And then if I look at the last one, it is Invitae. And Invitae has come down significantly. And it's today sitting at 2.21. if you go back to the heydays of this company, of Invite, you can see that it was quoting somewhere around 61.57. From then to now, it's a very, very, very steep fall. But I think we are consolidating now. And once the consolidation is complete, we should move up. So with that said, I think that brings me to an end of this session. Let me go into the chat window and see what you guys are talking about and how you guys are seeing this thing. So, okay, what's up with Netflix? Why is Netflix up? Its earnings reports look pretty bad from these short summary bits. I think Netflix was going to report its returns at around 6 o'clock our time. I don't think the earnings are up yet. I don't think Netflix reports earnings are out yet. I suspect that the market is expecting them to announce the paid plans for or advertised products. And oh, they're out. Okay, let me quickly check and see whether I can find them. Okay. Netflix only loses 9,700 subscribers, 970,000 subscribers in second quarter after warning of loss of 2 million. There you have it, Inf. 2 million was priced into Netflix and now that has been unwinded. This alone explains the whole thing. There may be other things in here, but I'll look at it at leisure. But I think that alone could have influenced it. So with that said, I'm just... yeah, so that's about it, my friends. Let me take some questions from you guys, and then we'll go. So let me just put TradingView and a chart out here, and then I'll go on to take your questions. Okay. Yeah, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay. Jesse and Inf, I think I would like to thank both of you guys because you keep me going. Today at the peak we had around 6 viewers, so thanks to the two of you for getting me started. And I think if we continue doing streams on a regular basis every evening at the right time, we'll start getting a good enough audience and we can continue with that. Otherwise we'll again go back and change the programming and come back with some other approach. Yeah, 6 at the peak there were 6. And yeah, so I'm going to bring this session to a close now. But yeah, thanks, Jesse. Thanks for the encouragement, and thanks, Inf, for the encouragement. And yeah, I'm planning to close this for today. If you have any questions, I would like to take questions if you have any, and then after that, I'll wind up this session. So let me wait for a few minutes. Yes, all your praise is making me to grow. It's making me to swell with pride. Yeah, I think, yeah, my question was, are you bullish or bearish on the current market, long term, short term? So in the short term, I'm a bit bullish, and long term, I'm definitely bullish. I'm short term bullish for the next week or so, because I think in this week, we are going to get a lot of earnings, which is going to keep the momentum going. And also, I can see that the latest news is that Russians are opening up oil again for Europe. So that's a positive. And also China is struggling, and therefore oil demand from China is going to be less. So all those catalysts are going to help us to get better. And that's the reason why I'm feeling short-term bullish. That means maybe up to maybe Thursday or something. But overall, long-term, I'm bullish. I think the market is all going to recover potentially somewhere around when we reach, I think, the middle of fourth quarter. I think it'll be good at that time. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I really enjoy sharing all these insights with you that I have, and I'm also expecting you guys to do some pushback or give me your own feedback also, because we have to pool all our information. We are retail investors. We don't have access to highly paid analysts and others, so we got to share all our intelligence pieces and put it all together and make some conclusions. And tomorrow, when we do our live stream, I'll try to give you some more stuff in terms of some swing trading or day trading tips, if there are any possibilities in our genomic stocks. And guys, do you think I should also talk about other stocks like Tesla or anything else? Do you think we have room for that, or do you think it will spoil the channel? Okay. Hello. A dollar real. Okay. Too much is too much. Thanks, Jesse. We'll take in small bits and take it going forward. Yeah. Thanks to everyone who is watching out here. And I think I'll bring this session to a close. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the morning show coming up. As usual, I'll release it before the market open, somewhere around 9:30 or just before that. And then I'll come back again for the 3:30 p.m. live. Oh, you want to look at the ticker? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me look at your ticker and see what I can tell you about it. Okay, just 1 second. Tradingview.com is not loading out here. Yes. So real plus. Okay, I have not seen this before, so I'm going to do a quick analysis of this company for you right now. And let me have a look at what this company does. Internet retail. Okay, so let's just zoom out. This is a 1 year chart. It's got all 1 day candles out here. And I can see that this company is performing exactly like our genomic stocks have been doing. I can see familiar patterns out here. And let me draw some trend lines out here. Let me start off by first drawing us a channel out here. It's going to be, let me remove this. Let me start from here. Go here and okay, so I have got this channel out here, which I'm going to mark as red because it's going to be a resistance. So this was a bearish channel that we had before, and it has got multiple touch points here. So one good news I can say about this particular share is, from a technical analysis point of view, it seems to me that this share is just about breaking out of a bearish channel. We can watch it for the next few days to see if this persists. And when I look at the MACD, it is starting to improve. It is bullish. Momentum has also gone above average. So if you see in the past, most of the time it has been in the below average zone. That's why it was very weak. Now it has come back into above average. If it stays above average, this is going to do better going forward. But it's starting to look much better at this point of time, in my opinion. And it has been consolidating a little bit. Now I can also tell you one more thing out here. If I was to go for horizontal line and what I'm going to do is I'm going to track the bottom here. So this is the bottom, this is the support line at the bottom, and I'm going to track the top out here. So I'm thinking that this particular share is most likely to consolidate between these two regions. So even though it has come out of this diagonal line of resistance, the diagonal line of resistance doesn't make any sense after 25th of July. So we can still have the price going down and be below where it was earlier and still be out of this bearish channel. So keep that in mind. It can hit here and then go back up again. That's my opinion. So does that answer your questions for the time being? This is the best I can do at this point of time. So FR, you're down 75%. Just want to know if I need to buy more DCA. I wouldn't suggest buying DCA now. Let me go back to the chart. I'll give you some ideas, but this is not financial advice, my friend. It's going to be, as I tell all the channel viewers, technical analysis just gives you probability, but it doesn't give you certainty. Market events can change everything. And right now, Real is also facing a lot of pressures from the overall market condition. So if I was to do dollar cost averaging, I would have done it closer to the 2.22 level. So anywhere between 2.10 to 2.22 or 2.15 to 2.22, I would potentially do a dollar cost averaging. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what the technical analysis indicates to me. At this point of time, the risk reward, assuming that this is going to be the consolidation band, is equal. There is no benefit. In fact, I think the risk is more than the reward at this point of time. So I would rather wait. If it hits this and comes back down again, I'll wait for it to come somewhere close to 210 before doing a DCA, with the idea that potentially it could probably go all the way down to 222 and come up again. So I think I would buy somewhere around, if this is 222, add 10 cents to it. So 232 is somewhere I would probably think of DCA. Not before that. That's my opinion. This is a personal opinion, not financial advice. So I hope FR that kind of helps you out. Yeah, FR, if you have not yet subscribed, just subscribe to the channel and put notify. So you can come on this live chats the evenings, and you could definitely ask non-genomic also if you have got questions. Our channel is focused on genomics. You are most welcome. There are a lot of stocks in the genomic sector which are likely to really go up as the market picks up, and we are on a bull run right now, minor bull run in the most of the genomic stocks at this point of time. So it will be worthwhile for you to join us and have a look at it. So with that said, my friends, I'm going to wind up unless you have any other questions. Yes, FR, because sometimes it's everything in the market depends on who is. It all depends in the market on who is going to value it, right? The guys who are paying for it are the ones who decide what is the value for it. And unfortunately for us, we have people who are highly educated buyers and sellers or investors. And there are also people who do not know what they are doing, and they have the money and they go and buy and sell and they get scared and all that stuff. So it's a net effect of all those things that reflects on the market. And right now, many people, frankly, are panicked. Many have withdrawn their money from the market. That's why you're seeing many good companies undervalued. Even big companies like Microsoft and Google and all have lost value. So don't worry, hang on there. And I don't know much about Real because I have not done much of analysis out there. But, oh, you sold Beam on Friday. Boy, FR, you be careful. But anyway, what I would recommend is that start selling covered calls, because when there is a bull market coming up, you will get good call premiums. Do covered calls instead of selling your shares when we get into a bull market. Which company are you talking about, Inf? Beam? Yeah, not financial advice. Yeah, I make sure. Yeah. Okay, you are talking about real. Yeah, yeah. I haven't checked real. This is the first time I'm seeing that ticker symbol. But you heard both technicals and fundamentals both go hand in hand. So technical may say something. You also have to look at fundamentals. So I haven't looked at the fundamentals FR. So just be careful with that. And yeah, with that, I'll say that I'm going to. Oh, you still have CRISPR? Hold on, it's a very good company. I just did an analysis for CRISPR. Come back again tomorrow. FR, we'll look at CRISPR again tomorrow at 3:30, and we'll take it from there. Okay, guys, then I'm going to wind up the session. It's already 4:30. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now, and thanks to all for joining. Bye, guys. Yes, we will win.